Creo Parametric is a very useful tool which allows you to make different types of rib features. Ribs allow you to create 3D geometry from single sketches, normal or parallel to the sketch. Now, during my training courses, it's become quite apparent this extremely versatile feature is perhaps not used as much as it should be, especially for users who are involved in injection moulding, for example. So I'm going to spend a couple of minutes here looking at the basic process of using ribs. You should see that they're relatively easy to manage and give you options that standard extrudes don't. There are two types of ribs available in Creo. Here's the rib feature. There's a drop down on the right hand side. You can see we've got two options: trajectory, which is quite hard to say, and profile, which is a bit easier. Generally I do an external sketch, so I create the sketch first and then apply the feature. You can also do an internal sketch in the rib feature itself. So let's do these one at a time. Now remember, this is just a quick overview. The first option is the trajectory rib. I always think of it as dropping away from the sketch into whatever shape your design has. It's very simple to manage and it's fairly automated in how it behaves. I often describe it during training as being a little bit like a liquid that will flow normal from the sketch until it hits a solid wall, essentially following the curvature of your design, so you don't need to manually manage the boundaries. Usefully, you don't need to fully constrain your sketch, simply create these lines here and they'll automatically attach the rib to the internal walls. You also have further options here specifically useful for creating moulded bosses, gussets and ribs. I can apply taper to the rib, for example, to allow easier release from the mould, and I also have the ability to add internal and external rounds to the top of the rib and also at the base. Really simple and useful. The thickness of the rib can be adjusted, as can be the radius value of the rounds. Your company will probably have some guidelines and policies related to the size of these ribs and rounds, etc. But if not, there's plenty of information available online on sensible dimensional ratios to eliminate saggy bits or wrinkles on your rib, that is. A profile rib fills in the area between the sketch and any existing solid geometry, parallel to the sketch. To do this, you need to create a datum plane at the correct placement and angle, and then simply sketch the shape of the profile rib onto that plane. Now in this instance, the sketch does need to be constrained to existing solid walls or faces. Here you've got some options regarding the placement and size of the rib. You can move the rib to the right or the left or centered over the original sketch. You can adjust the thickness or width of the rib, and usefully, similar to the trajectory rib, it will follow the existing curvature. As you can see here on this rounded section, these are ideal for creating gussets or ribs, adding strength and rigidity to your designs. So give them a try. They're really versatile, really reliable, and an ideal addition to your modelling tools.